Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner, Boxing 24. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great. God is good. And I definitely can't complain. And if I did complain, and I wanted to complain, God is still great. God is still good no matter what. Okay? He woke me up and allowed me to see another day and be a better person. So, I want to talk about my man Shakur Stevenson and the hoopla surrounding him wanting to fight Tank Davis or Devin Haney, who he wants to fight first, who is the priority, is it about the money, is it about the belts? Now, I hear different outlets, I hear different people saying different things, what he said, what he didn't say. I watched the interview with with Shakur on $1 million worth of game. And he said that he wasn't offered $8 million. He said it was 75-25, but it wasn't $8 million. He didn't say what the number was, but he said it really wasn't $8 million. They said it was 8, but it really wasn't. That's what he said, okay? I never heard the words 8 million come out of his mouth in that interview, that he was offered that. He did say that if they offered him $8 million, he would take it right now, okay? So why would he say that if he already turned it down? Because they didn't offer him an actual $8 million, all right? Now, if I'm wrong, I'll come back on here and I'll rectify it. If somebody can prove to me that he said $8 million in that interview. Maybe he said it in another one, but he didn't say it in that interview that I saw, okay? So now here's the thing for me. Leonard Ellaby has something to say. He weighed in because Shakur, being humble and being smart, he said, I don't have anything to offer Tank, so I can't. He's a pay-per-view star. He's the biggest star in boxing. I'm not going to say the biggest star, but he's one of the biggest stars. I say Canelo is still the biggest star. But I know where Shakur is going. I hear what he's saying. He said he's a big star. I don't have anything to really offer him, so he would have to offer me a fight. They would have to come to me, which is very humble and is actually correct. But now Leonard Ellaby, he feeds into that and he takes it the other way and he says, well, no, nobody can offer Tank anything. And, I have an issue with that because it's either one fighter is going to offer the other or one team is going to offer the other or vice versa, right? But if nobody offers anything to each other or one or the other, then you don't have a fight. So what do you mean nobody can offer? Somebody can offer him something. It may not be what he wants, but he can be offered a fight. He can be offered money. Okay? At the end of the day, man, right? We want to see Tank fight some formidable opponents. I'm not saying he ain't fight nobody, but I'm saying we want to see some fighters that he looks like he's going to lose or he's not the favorite. We haven't seen that yet. No matter if we wanted Ryan Garcia to win or not, or even Raleigh Romero, we haven't seen Tank really be in a fight where they said, oh man, 100% Tank is going to lose, man, or 50%, or even 50%, pardon me, forget about the 100, 50%, okay? Or he's not the favorite. This is a fight that he could lose. That's what we want to see, all right? Now, I heard something earlier about him possibly fighting Keith Thurman, which to me is a little ridiculous. But I'm going to talk about that in another video, okay? Anyway, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Tank. This reminds me a little bit of Jerron Boots Enos and people saying he never called out Bud Crawford, but he was kept calling out Spence. Well, why wouldn't he call out Spence when Spence was unified champion with 3 belts? Of course I'm going to call out Spence, number one, because I'm the IBF mandatory, number one, IBF mandatory. So of course I'm going to call him out, and he got 3 belts. I was never number one in the WBO to fight Crawford, never number one. You go back and look. Go back and look, 23, 22, 21, 2. You never seen Jerron Boots Enos as the number one mandatory to fight for that belt. Okay? He was either 2, 3, or 4. He was never number 1, but he was number 1 for the IBF for a while. So that makes a lot of sense. So it's the same scenario. Shakur, is he going to fight Devin Haney for the belts? Or is he going to fight Tank for the business? Okay? And because of the star power that he has. Devin Haney is undisputed, but he don't have the star power that Tank has. Honestly, he don't even have the star power that Shakur has. All right? Nobody has the star power that Canelo has. Let's keep it real. But Tank is definitely right there with him. But my thing is, again, if we want to see a fight, then somebody got to offer somebody something. Shakur does his humble by saying he don't have anything to offer him because he's a star. But guess what? Shakur is a star too. And Shakur, if you watch this video, you ever see this video, man, don't downgrade yourself, bro. You do got something to offer him because you're a 2-time world champion. Okay? You got status. You got a resume. You got things to offer him because of your background. Okay? You're a former Olympic champion and you're a 2-time world champion in professional boxing. So of course you got something to offer him. You don't have a 135 belt, but that's okay. You moved up to challenge yourself and to challenge the fighters that's here. And that's what it's all about. So yeah, you do have something to offer him and you're undefeated. So don't say you don't have nothing to offer him, bro. You do have something to offer him. But sometimes our ego, Leonard Ellaby or Tank or Floyd, nobody needs Floyd to dictate to say, well, and Floyd is my man, you know that, my favorite fighter and all that. But when he says, don't worry about Tank, Devin Haney and Shakur need to fight each other because they're the top rank. Well, that could happen. But remember, Shakur was with Top Rank. Devin Haney just got with them. He was on the zone with Eddie Hearn. Okay, so he got with them for that fight deal with Cambosis and then the third fight. And who knows how long he's going to be with Top Rank. But he wasn't always with Top Rank. But he don't have to fight Shakur. Why he can't fight Devin Haney? Why Shakur can't fight Devin Haney? Okay? I also heard a comment that Tank can do everything Shakur can do, but Shakur can't do everything that Tank can do. I mean, what does that have to do with the fight? What does that have to do with the fight? So what? Shakur does different things, and Tank does different things. But I'll tell you this, in my humble opinion, and I stand on this, I know who Tank has fought, and I ain't taking nothing away from him. And I give him credit where credit is due. But when it comes to Leo Santa Cruz, who was a bantamweight that moved up, and actually, if you want to keep it real, that was the hardest fight for Tank as far as boxing because Leo Santa Cruz was really tapping Tank. He was hitting him. He was getting off on him. But he didn't have enough power to keep Tank at bay. And if you ain't got no power to keep him honest, then he going to walk you down and he going to knock you out. He going to hurt you, which is what he did. Okay? So, but that probably was the one that really got off for him the most. Isaac Cruz got off on him a little bit, but I think Leo Santa Cruz did the most. Mario Barrios, with his height and reach and length and everything, he couldn't do nothing with Tank. Who else has really challenged him? Rolly Romero with his awkward behind? Come on, man. Nobody really has challenged him. So we just want to see Tank get challenged. That's all. Devin Haney can pose a challenge, but I think Shakur gives him the biggest challenge. And I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Tank. And I can almost bet that he won't stop Shakur. All right? So all the talk about the other side of the street, like with that Crawford and Spence crap and, you know, this one need to fight this one. No, man. The same way y'all said Errol Spence, most of y'all, a lot of y'all said that Errol Spence was going to walk through Crawford, and it didn't happen. And I knew that, but I just let y'all talk because I knew what Crawford was going to do. It's going to be a similar scenario. Tank got all his power. Spence had all his power. He's breaking people. He's the bone collector, eye collector and all that, but he couldn't do nothing with Crawford. He got annihilated. Tank is not walking through Shakur Stevenson like that. I don't care what y'all say. And when that fight happens, if it does happen, and I hope it does, soon, y'all will see that. So if he could do everything that Shakur can do, but Shakur can't do everything that he can do, and then he beats him, what does that say more? What more does that say about Shakur? That's how it's going to play out. Shakur is a smart fighter, and he knows how to control that distance. Tank is not going to be able to walk him down and do what he wants to do without getting hurt. And Shakur is going to have better power at 135. And he got decent power now. He just ain't knocking nobody out like Tank. But that don't mean you ain't got no power. I'm going to leave it on this. Shane Mosley tapped Floyd Mayweather. Shane Mosley's way stronger than Floyd, supposedly, right? He rocked him and he buckled him. And he couldn't finish him, though. Floyd grabbed him, he held on, he got his composure. He did what he got to do, but that's attributed to his chin and his legs, all right? And the fact that he held on. Instincts, he did what he had to do. Shakur is the same kind of fighter, I believe, that's going to rise to that occasion. If he does get hurt with something, he's going to handle it, and he's going to shake it off, and he's going to do what he got to do. That's my opinion. I'm not hating on Tank. I like Tank. He got mad skill, very smart fighter, very good boxer, got good defense, good footwork, all of that. But don't say that he's just going to walk through Shakur and based on what he did with all these other fighters. Because everybody that he's fought doesn't have a style similar to Shakur Stevenson. All right, the most avoided fighter in boxing today, besides Jaron Boots Ennis and David Benavidez. Peace and blessings, y'all, in this corner boxing 24.